Hi guys, so it's me, Fun Girl. Today I'm going to be baking with a friend. Our faces won't show throughout the video, but don't worry, we're still doing the same stuff. So yeah, let's get started. So we are going to be baking brownies. We're gonna need to get out sugar, flour, and baking powder. And we're gonna get out
how many sticks of butter?
Half a cup, so I think it's 1 stick. So we're following this recipe card. We're going to need to get out cocoa powder. Where is that? We're gonna get out cocoa powder and vanilla. Where is the vanilla? Almond extract. Oh, where's the vanilla? Oh, we have the vanilla. I didn't realize that the vanilla was out.
I got the butter from the basement.
Yep, we're gonna have to soften it before we use it.
I can do that, and then you could work on measuring into a bowl.
Maybe you'll be able to make it work. So yeah, 1 stick of butter is 8 tablespoons, 1/4 pound, or a half a cup.
So we're gonna need
A whole stick.
Oh yeah, that's good.
And then we're going to need to get out eggs. While she gets out eggs, I'm going to melt the butter. Soften.
They're soft and not melt.
I'm telling her to do it because every time I try to soften butter, I end up melting it. Every time I try to melt the butter, it ends up melting. It ends up over melting.
We need to find the we're gonna get out a mixing bowl so like we could put it in right away. So we're gonna put this in the microwave.
I'm trusting her to do it, not myself.
So we're gonna start by 30 seconds, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna get our mixing bowl.
Wait, we're gonna check the recipe first to make sure we haven't forgotten anything. So we have butter in the microwave. Oh wait, it's melted. It's melted. Okay, so it melted butter.
Not
Told her-
softened.
And sugar. So we have our sugar back there. We have our vanilla. We have 2 eggs. We have flour. We have bacon. We have cocoa powder. We have baking powder. And we have salt. And the only thing we're missing is chocolate chips. So I'll just get those out.
We're gonna have to cut the butter in half because we can't find a bowl that's big enough. No, that's our usual bowl. We usually squish it.
Yeah, we're going to use chocolate chips. These are Kirkland signatures for my sweet chocolate chips.
Okay, you can start putting stuff in.
So yeah,
It took about a minute and 30 seconds.
and that's from it being frozen. So if you should probably use different measurements or a different time thing. So we need to put the butter, sugar, and vanilla in. So
I'll do the sugar.
We need a cup of sugar.
You can do the sugar, I'll do vanilla. Okay, how much
And
vanilla?
you need a teaspoon of vanilla. So here's the tisp. So
I'm gonna put the teaspoon of vanilla in.
and be careful with vanilla. For some parts, you should probably have an adult, and we'll tell you when you should have an adult. Vanilla is a good example. Another good example is salt. So if you are struggling with getting all the sugar in, or anything, I would recommend getting a smaller tool and then using that. And then you can probably shake off the salt. I'm just gonna use a knife to be more
That's
precise.
sugar.
I mean sugar. Whatever. I mean it's a very big difference. I'm not gonna say same difference because it's a very big difference. So now we're going to mix this together, and I usually use a whisk. And as you go, put your ingredients away. So I usually use a whisk. So when using this recipe, And if you want to, you can wear an apron while doing all of these things. We're bad examples of that, but we've cooked enough that we don't wear aprons.
I'll do 1 egg and she'll do 1 egg.
And you don't have to do this. I usually crack the egg in a different container to make sure it's good. You don't have to do that.
Okay.
It's just me.
You can use this container.
So when it's good, it should look something like that. So now I'm going to, and I personally like cracking it in a container because then and hitting it with the back of a butter knife to crack it. And I don't know why it's nice for like when you don't want to get eggshell pieces in your thing. And if it's cloudy, then you don't want to use it, but this one is crystal clear.
And then you're gonna
always throw away eggshells.
And then wash your hands after, because the bacteria from the eggshells can contaminate your food.
I have never heard that, but you know, whatever.
Okay, after that, we're going to stir in flour, cocoa, baking powder, and salt. I'll do flour, and then you can do cocoa.
Okay, so you need a 1/2 cup of flour and a 1/3 cup of cocoa. And these are things that you should flatten out with a knife, or if you want to, you can use a chopstick. And that's just a want to. I like putting chopsticks in the thing because then I don't need to use my knives, but you know, you can do it however you want to. So my container for the cocoa powder is kind of hard to even it out. But like when you have a good container, it's pretty easy. It's not that hard.
I got my cup of flour, and I'm gonna put it in, or 1/2 cup of flour, excuse me. I'm gonna put it in.
And then I'm going to put in my 1/3 cup of cocoa powder.
And then we need I'll do salt and you can do baking powder.
Actually,
1/4 teaspoon of
actually,
salt.
can I do salt?
Sure. Baking powder, that's a 1/4.
So you need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And I think my family has 2, but you know, yeah, we have 2. So when doing salt, either get it apparent or do it over a small container. I'm just going to use this egg bowl because it's here.
Okay, well, I got my 1/4 teaspoon of my baking powder. That was loud.
Salt is really hard to do precisely, but this is good. And then at this point in time,
Set the oven.
so set the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I don't know what that is in Celsius.
350?
Yeah, 350.
Okay.
And then this is the point in time when you put in the chocolate chips, and you need a 1/2 cup of those. So let's get the chocolate chips.
While you put that in, I'll start mixing.
And just be warned, at this point in time, the mixture is really hard to mix.
It looks like this.
I mean, unless you put your chocolate chips in right now, which we're going to, and then it'll look a little different.
You might want to use a big bowl because powder will go everywhere.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips, and then it's kind of hard to do sometimes. And sometimes actually cooking, people may think it's like a sport where you don't have to do any workout, but it does require a bit of work. It is a bit of a workout to stir brownie batter, because see, that's what it looks like. So while I'm doing this, my friend's going to find a brownie container, and you know, sometimes that's hard, but you know.
You want to use like a 9x9 container?
Yeah, if you don't have that, you can be fine with some thicker or thinner brownies. And I'm just gonna, so sometimes you have to clean out your whisk so that you can get everything mixed. And then something that I would recommend doing is getting out a rubber spatula or a rubber scraper. You can call it what you want to call it.
We're gonna use this pan. It's not exactly 9 by 9, but it will work.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than like a 5x12. So we're gonna use a rubber scraper to scrape the stuff down the sides. And we're gonna end up bringing this back. So, yeah.
Where's the sprayer?
Other side, other cup. And then she's going to be getting out the cooked baking spray. If you don't,
spray.
whatever. We're baking, so it's baking spray.
It says cooking spray though.
I'm
I'm gonna go spray this by the sink so we don't get it everywhere.
If you want to, you can spray it outside. That's what my dad told me to do the first time I was baking. And for most of these, you're gonna for the last time, once you're done mixing, pat that down to get the batter off so that you have as much batter as possible.
This is how it should look.
And then you're gonna use a rubber scraper to get that all down.
Hey, you hold it. No, I'll scrape.
No, I can scrape.
No, I'll scrape. You hold it.
Fine. And it's sometimes hard to do on your own, so you might want to call in some help when doing this part.
That's too high. Yes, it does take a lot of work to get everything out.
Yeah.
And don't waste any.
Yeah, try not to waste very much because unless you, of course, you're purposely wasting it to eat it.
Which is not what we're gonna do, because we're gonna show you the good example of not eating raw batter.
Yeah. You shouldn't really eat raw eggs because you can get sick. So unless the eggs have been made specially so that you don't get sick, like when we were selling cookie dough at school, it was made so that you don't get sick. You can eat it as cookie dough. But anyway, yeah.
So it should be pretty clean like this.
Yep, this is a pretty good example.
And then you just want to spread it out along the pan. This is going to be a very thin brownie. I just noticed that.
I ran out of storage space partway through making this. It's in the oven. So you put it in the oven at 350 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. And yeah, we'll be back when the timer goes off. So we're going to take them out and then we're going to test them with a toothpick. So yeah, we're getting everything out.
I'll get it out and you can get the toothpick.
Okay.
Ooh. Wait, why didn't we just test it in the oven though? That'd be easier.
Okay. So you test with a toothpick, you put it in like the center, and if it comes out clean, like technically.
Yeah, that's probably cooked.
So yeah, if it's clean, like
if it's basically
if it like has a lot of batter on it, then it's not done. But these ones are done. So now we're just going to let them cool for a few minutes,
and then turn off the oven.
Turn off the oven, and we'll let them cool for a few minutes. And yeah,
should we get the ice cream out and plate?
Not now.
We're gonna check the brownies. They should probably be a bit cool now.
So when you cut brownies, you want to cut around the edges so that they can come off. And I think it's a little soon, but then again, I am terrible at guessing when brownies come out. So we've given them about
glass plates go?
2 minutes. Okay, so we cut them into 12ths, and I ran out of storage space again. So yeah, we're not gonna film very much anymore. Okay, thank you for watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe because currently things are weird. Bye.